Once upon a very strange time, in the strange town of Nozzleton, people believed that noses were the measure of one's worth. The bigger, the better. Nozzletonians had no interest in natural noses. They obsessively pursued ways to enlarge their propecuses. The citizens of Nozzleton endured operations to have flesh removed from their rears and added to their nostrils. Reductive rhinoplasty was the ultimate punishment. Parents told their children, "Pick your nose so you'll stretch it." They kept pigs, turkeys, and toads as house pets. They hated kittens, bunnies, and button-nosed babies. The main industry in Nozzleton was augmenting nose girth through surgery, powders to sniff, personal trainers, weights, surgeons, creams, tonics, self-aggrandizement seminars, and hypnosis tapes. Hucksters sold skunk oil they promised would make one's nose big and red. Some citizens wore nose rings so large that they ate right through them. The massive jewelry dripping from nostrils made people resemble their pet toads. One couple tried every trick to increase their nose mass, including plastic attachments. But when they gave birth to a daughter, her tiny noodle betrayed their naturally little noses. When people asked the couple who the girl was, they said, "Nobody." When authorities asked for her last name so they could find the parents, the mother and father swore, "Nobody knows." So everyone called the child, "Nobody knows." Not that anyone believed that the two weren't her parents. People in Nozzleton were very nosy, and their Bible was Pinocchio, which they said proved the virtue of lying. Nozzletonians told as many lies as they could think of. They hoped that lying would make their noses grow like Pinocchio. So no one believed a word anyone said. "We love the little snouts," the Nozzletonians lied. "Wherever they are. They couldn't see anyone because they held their noses so high in the air. We keep the nasally challenged in institutions so they'll breed among themselves and have lots of little ones." Nozzletonians wanted a steady supply of the less endowed to exploit in their factories. The town's second-largest industry used little-nosed citizens, mostly children, to sew delicate handkerchiefs and nose cozies in dimly lit factories. That was where Nobody Knows seemed destined to end up, if lucky enough to survive her first 5 years. As a toddler, she lived on the street, eating what the richly nosed threw away or dropped. On her 5th birthday, she knocked on a sweatshop door to apply for the night shop. The next thing she knew, she lay in the gutter. Atop her lay Nozzleton's mare, shaking his head. When the factory manager had opened the door, it knocked her into the street and the mare tripped over her. The mayor boasted the biggest nose in town. That's how he got his position, and he rarely deigned to look down it at anyone. The little girl begged, "Forgive me, sir, I'm so sorry." "You better be," he said. "Who are you?" "Nobody knows, sir." She tried not to sniffle. The crushing fall of the mayor with his huge nose had hurt her more than him. "Well, when you find out, tell me." In case any of his cronies were nearby, he muttered, "Little snub-nosed weasel, better keep tabs on her." No one was listening, as usual. All his attendants wandered lost. Since they couldn't see where they were going, they held their heads too high to ever read the signs. The mayor snorted. "I have important business to do. Need to find out what smells so bad. People are making such a stink that I might not get re-elected." "You mean the garbage?" "What garbage?" he wheezed. His great nose was a fake plastic attachment that kept him from smelling anything. "You could if you stopped pointing your nose at the sky," the girl said. "Sir." Slowly, very slowly, he lowered his head and looked down his beak at the little girl. And lo and behold, the mayor saw all around her the trash littering his streets. "Well, who knew?" the mayor said. Maybe people here started to obsess about their noses because they feared what one knows determines one's stature, and they confused one's nose with what one knows. Nozzletonians had trouble with homonyms and apostrophes. The mayor ran for re-election under the platform "Something Stinks," and won by a landslide. As a reward, he made a new position for her, Little Miss Knows-It-All. She helped him compose a new motto for Nozzleton. "Follow your nose, for the nose knows more than we think, like what things stink."